Have you ever known exactly what to do with your money, but still couldn't make yourself do it? You've read the books, you've hired the coach, you built the budget, and you're still avoiding the bank account, putting off the decision, doing literally anything except the thing that you said you do, the thing that you know you need to do. So here's the thing. This isn't like a discipline problem that you just need to find a new strategy. And most of us have made it mean something about us, like our character, who we are, because we haven't been able to do the thing. But it's not. It's that almost nobody is touching all three pieces that it takes to close this gap: strategy, mindset, energetics, together at the same time. I had a conversation about this probably 20 minutes before I hit record, and today I'm walking through exactly what I told her. We're getting into the industry split that nobody talks about, why money healers don't touch the strategy, the budget, the books, and why bookkeepers and traditional money coaches don't touch the nervous system, the energetics, and you fall straight through the middle. I'm breaking down what happens when even one of those pieces is missing, and you're probably going to see some of the things that you've already tried. So, if you've ever known exactly what to do and still couldn't make yourself do it, this one is for you. If we haven't met yet, hi, I'm Aimee Cerka, money confidence coach and bookkeeper. I've been in this space now for over 14 years, and I help heart-centered entrepreneurs stop doing money from survival mode and come back into emotional safety and grounded power with their finances. In every video, I give you a real honest conversation around money, not just the strategy side, but the emotional and energetic pieces too. Because in my experience, you can't separate them. So let's get to it. Welcome back to Money Simplified. We are talking today about the knowing doing gap. I think that's what we're going to call this episode. You already know what to do and you still can't make yourself do it. Okay. So we have one story here, but like this is something that I experienced even like earlier today on a call with one of my coaches in a different area. Like, we can know what to do and we can know that we need to do it. And I was even like, okay, yeah, this is the thing. I know I just need to work through actually getting back into that habit because it's something that I've done before. So that can be a case as well, right? We've talked about like numbers technically aren't rocket science. Like it feels like it should be simple. We feel like we should be able to do it through all the shoulds in there, right? But it creates this frustration because it's like, it's not that hard. Why am I not doing it? And then we beat ourselves up and we feel like we're lazy or we just don't have the willpower to want this. But like, that's not true. So the conversation that I had like 20 minutes ago was talking with a, I guess, potential collaborator. We're set up a collaboration. So a collaborator, somebody else in the business space, right? Doing a connection call with them. And you got the typical like, hey, tell me about what you do and all those things, like to see if there's an aligned fit there. So when I was talking about like the three pieces that I've built and then I blend together, and of course, if you know my story, you know this has happened over time. Like we started with the strategy piece and I started with the strategy piece. Like, let's just work on the strategy. And there was some success, right, with the strategy. There was progress. There was enough that I was able to leave my 9 to 5 and be home with my kids. But then it created another problem because I created the story that I had failed my family when that wasn't even the thing that I had set out to do. Was the income. It had set out the goal to be with my kids. Like my whole goal of going into entrepreneurship was to be able to be there with my kids. Check, did it. That's exactly what I wanted to start my business for, right? But I created a story, was beating myself up, telling myself I had failed my family because I hadn't hit the income goal. But that wasn't the goal. So then we incorporated the mindset piece, right? And really, even then, the identity and the energetics part was showing up. I just didn't realize it. And then we can talk about, we know what to do. We can talk about, like, we've read all the books, right? We can tell you Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. You're walking around saying, I have a millionaire mind. Like, those things are fantastic. I am not downing those. Learned a lot from T. Harv Eker, right? But it became the energetics and the identity piece because I could walk around. I had the tactical strategy. I had the mindset. I was doing those pieces. But the little voice in the back of my head was like, yeah, that works for everybody else, but it doesn't work for you. And that's the piece that so many miss. So when I was telling this collaborator, we're talking about like, I blend the three pieces, the strategy, the mindset, and the energetics. She was like, I haven't ever met anybody else who does that. Like, I've worked with a money healer before. She had done the money healing and she's heard of money coaches. She's had them like done collaborations with them before, but she's never had anybody blend both, is what she said, right? And there's really the three. And sometimes we can get into like two, right? Strategy, mindset a little bit, or mindset, energetics, but we really need all of it. We need the strategy. We need to do the tactical steps, right? Because we need to be good stewards with our money. We want to set the intention of where we want the money to go. We want to know what's going on because we've removed the story about what those numbers mean. And we've got the 4 key systems within there, right? Your personal budget, your business budget, your books, the bookkeeping, and then you've got debt/cash flow, right? And then we bring in the mindset part and we bring in the energetics and the identity work, because who you are while you're taking that action, that's crucial. So if you know what to do and you're just not doing it, the energetics piece, the identity piece, that's what we have to work on. So here's the thing, this pattern, these identity wounds, things that we're all dealing with, right? There's a money pattern that's been running the show behind the scenes. And that's worth knowing before we go any further. The money villain quiz is absolutely free. It's going to take about 2 minutes, and I'll help you uncover what that money villain is and how to shift it back into your superpower, because it was always designed to support you. Simply go to aimeecerka.com/quiz. And of course, that link is hanging out in the show notes for you. Now back to the episode. Because we are amazing human beings, right? Like, it's incredible the way that we are programmed, but we are programmed for safety. And if something feels unsafe because your nervous system has deemed it unsafe, or you've created an identity where it's unsafe to change it, you're gonna have to work intentionally to override that. Because I don't think that you want a life of safety. You want security in your finances, I'm sure, but a life of safety? Or do you want a life of happiness, of wealth, of success, of joy, of being able to give, generosity? That would be a way to word that, right? Those things, it's technically not safe, right? Because we can lose them. So we've got to work on all 3. We've got to work on the energetics part. So that course that you went through that maybe you didn't finish and you knew you needed to, or that coaching container that you showed up for a month and then kind of faded out. The energetics, the safety part, the identity work, that's the key. And it's not anything wrong with you. Again, your body is working exactly like your human experience is working exactly as it's designed to. And if you're just going to a 9-to-5, working a job, doing those things, it's a different world. We've signed up for something different as entrepreneurs, and I believe that you want something different. And this is where we talked for a long time about everybody should have a business, right, from the tax benefits alone. And while that is still statistically true, not every person is cut out for this. Not everybody can do it because it takes that push. It takes that effort. And just because it hasn't worked yet, I don't care how long you've been doing this, right? That doesn't mean that it's not going to work. So don't take that and beat yourself up. The fact that you're here, that you're listening to this, that you're willing to try, that you want to do those things, like, your success is inevitable. Can you just not quit? Can you stay in the discomfort? And it's not going to be constantly discomforting, right? But like, you've got to sit with this. Because if we're going to close the gap, if we're going to get over that piece, if we're going to shift those things, the pieces that we're missing, it's going to get a little uncomfortable. You've got to do the work. And it's not just power through the thing that you keep avoiding. that worked for a time, right? Just muscle through, power through, masculine energy, just fix it, right? That doesn't work anymore. Especially if you've got a personal brand where you are selling you, right? Like you are the thing, or you're the forefront, the face? Yeah, the face of your brand. People are buying into you, and you can't override that. As a buying audience, we have gotten smarter. It's not really smarter. We're more informed, less of the FOMO and traditional bro marketing techniques don't work anymore, right? And that was where we could power through. You could just power through and you did the thing, but now we can feel it. Your audience is like, I don't know what it is, but something's not right. And then they go buy from your competition. We've got to get the energetic, the identity piece in line, and everything shifts. So if you know what to do and you're just not doing it, again, don't drop into frustration. Don't beat yourself up. There's no shame. Like, this is just, I want it to feel empowering. Like, hey, this is what's going on. My body and my human experience has worked exactly how it's designed to. Great news about that is I can shift it. And it can happen in an instant, right? Okay, so for most of us, this energetic, this identity piece, right? We've got this pattern that's running subconsciously. And the thing about this pattern is it was always designed to be your superpower. It wasn't designed to be a bad thing. It was designed to be your superpower. But somewhere along the way, we let the shame and the guilt come in, and it's turned into your money villain. So if you're curious about what your pattern might be and how to shift it back into your superpower, then go to check out the money villain quiz. It's absolutely free, like 7 questions. You can do it in like 90 seconds, right? And it's going to show you what your money pattern is and how to shift it back into your superpower, which is what it's always designed to be. aimeecerka.com/quiz. I'll also put the link in the show notes for you. Okay. So go grab that. Let me know which villain you get, because, again, even earlier, that conversation with the coach was like, and there's my villain showing up yet again, because it's this pattern, right? But the good thing about it is we can shift it again in an instant. So go through the money villain quiz. Let me know what your money villain pattern is. And remember, you've got this and I've got you. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.